while we finish up the card. Wait, I forgot to show you how to make it. Hi, I'm Sherry with Ratchet Up Your Art, where we take the ordinary to the extraordinary and provide a different perspective along the way. And this is part 3 of my 3-part video series, where we're taking those flyers and we're turning them into cards. And if you miss my other videos, well, go check them out. In the meantime, let's ratchet up your art. Okay. So for this card, it's quick and easy. I'm going to take one of the backgrounds we created from my 3-part video series of turning the flyers into backgrounds for cards. And I thought I would create this one. Now, I create this on my Silhouette, my Cameo 4 Silhouette machine. I'm not going to go through that in this video, but if you're interested in how I use my Silhouette machine, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to be notified when those videos are available. Also, if you don't have a Silhouette or a Cricut machine, because I have one of those as well, and you have the Tim Holtz, you can get the Tim Holtz dies, and they have little houses on them that you can recreate. You can recreate this house in a similar fashion if you like this idea. So this is an alternative that you can do. What I'm going to do is I chose the background that I want. I am going to distress this with my favorite ink, my Distress Ground Espresso ink. It's my favorite for distressing. And I'm also going to use the Stabilos again to kind of give a darkened edge to inside of the house, to give it a little bit of a shadow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and edge that. And I'm going to edge the card as well. And the way I'm edging is I'm just going into small circles around the edges. Now, if I go into here, it gets all messy and because the pad doesn't fit in there really. So that's why I'm going to use the Stabilo. And then I'm just going to go around the edge here. And keep watching because I have a couple of bonus techniques towards the end of the video that I can show you what to do if you get too much ink like this on your background. Now, I am going to go ahead and glue this back on here. You can get that. And I'm using the Art Glitter Glue. It's one of my favorite glues. Put that on there. So I just glued that to the back there. And then I'm just going to snip it. Now what I wanted to do was take the Stabilo pen and Stabilo pencil and draw some dark lines right there to kind of give it a shadow and make it pop. And it's okay if you get some of it on the edge. I raided my my stash, and so I have this little happy that I'm going to put right here. And having things, this is another bonus tip, having things overlap is very pleasing to the eye. It gives a little bit of a focal point. Okay, so now we're going to finish off our card by gluing this. Now remember, this right here is a flyer, and look what we turned it into. Okay. So for the second card, what I did is I went onto my silhouette and I found the stained glass heart, and I cut it out with paper because I wanted to test it out. And it's just regular cardstock. I just used some scraps to test it out, and I really liked it. I really liked the stained glass. So what I thought I would do after I test out the cuts and everything, see how well it cut, what I thought I would do is I would go, and it's hard to see, but I took a transparency. So you see these lines right here. I took a transparency. I ran that through my silhouette machine. So again, please subscribe so you can be notified when I post videos on how to create your own stencils on the silhouette machine. But anyway, so I took this and then I added blue tape on here, because what I want to do is I'm going to use this particular one, and I'm going to create another card. I'm going to use it as a background. So I'm going to use my blending brushes, and I'm going to, and this is just blue painter's tape, and I am going to tape this down. I really load my brush because what you're doing is you're going over this background. So I'm really loading my brush with those inks. And then because I have the blue tape, I'm going away from it and not into it. And then you have to be very careful not to get it mixed up with the pink. Now, what you could do is you could take a paintbrush and get those areas if you're really concerned about it. Keep watching because I have a unique technique that I'm going to use with these inks after I get them onto this background. So stay tuned for that bonus tip. These stencils are washable, so you could just wash this off. And could we have used paint and done the same technique? Yes, you can definitely do paint with the same technique. So something to consider for the future. But look at that. Isn't that awesome? Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to emboss it. So here's a tip. Whenever you're using Distress Oxides by Tim Holtz, you can just emboss it. It will stick to the paint. Preheat your heat embossing gun, and remember, don't stay in one area too long. This will bubble up and will produce a plastic bubble. You don't want that, so you got to keep it moving. Here's an extra bonus tip for you. When you're looking at your clear embossing powder and you see some areas are not shiny, that means you didn't get it all the way. So we just need to go back and hit it with the heat gun real quick. Again, do not get this too close. This will also set the inks and dry the ink. Now, the only thing that I'm not fond of is how this blends in a little bit. So I'm going to go in with some pencils and I'm going to make it pop. So what I'm using here are Stabilo. The Stabilo pencil here, and this is also a Stabilo, so a white and a black to create my shadows. It's already cool, so we're good to go. So I'm going to add a little bit of shadow here. It just pops right off of there. Use a little bit of highlight here. Now, if you don't have Stabilos, you can use Posca markers as well to create those shadows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this, with the black soot, and I'm going to edge it. Now remember, ink is water soluble, and I got a lot of ink right there. So what I can do is I can just squirt it. Boop. Okay, so to finish off this card, I want to add a little sentiment right here. So I'm using the Tim Holtz Small Talk, and the word I want to use is good things are going to happen. So I want to add this little sentiment. Okay, I just want to summarize and talk about the cards we created. Now, after I recorded this video, I had so much fun with this card that I went back and I created another card. And this one did not have the blending. This is just a pure flyer background with jelly printing on it, but no blending of oxides or inks on it. But I used the same stencil to create this background, and then I cut out the word love from my silhouette machine, and then I used the Tim Holtz Stamper Anonymous, I'm my happiest when I'm with you. And then I added some little bling dots to it. And so I thought this really turned out really well. And I had so much fun with that stencil. So make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can learn more about the different techniques I used. I used Stabilo here, and I basically did the same thing that I did on this card. Okay, and this is the card we created here. This is the Heidi swap, so just remember that. I really liked how these backgrounds turned out. They're not so girly, pink and purple, Valentine's-y, but just to let people know that you care about them. And then also this one here, real fun and simple background card. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed, please consider doing so. It would really make my day. Thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art.